Hello, my name's Neil Marshall. I work here at Growing with Grace. I've been here since the outset 20 years ago. We grow organic veg, which we deliver to the local community, local in the sense that we deliver to a 50-mile radius. In this short video today, we're going to cover the planting and sowing of seeds, why you might want to choose one seed over another, and which varieties you might choose to use, and how to create a seed bed and bring the seeds on. The starting point with growing your crop is obtaining some seed. There's various reasons why you choose one seed over another, and we're an extensive system, we're not intensive. We don't need a lot of the seeds that are sold are for intensive systems. They take up nutrients very quickly, and the idea is to grow them under heat and get them out quickly to the market. We have a slower process, and so our seeds we source organically. There's 3 companies we regularly use. Most of our seeds we buy from this company, Tamar Organics, but there's also the seed co-operative who do biodynamic seeds, and Garden Organic who have a good range of organic and non-organic seeds. This is an interesting little company called Real Seeds. They do small-scale seed harvesting of unusual varieties. They aren't certified organic, but as far as I'm aware, they could be. Selecting seeds is very difficult because you'll have come across catalogues with thousands of different varieties in. I think for choosing varieties for taste and relevant to our growing conditions, we're very far north relative to most of the people that buy organic veg. So we have to look for plants that do well in a short season. Sometimes you have to be selective on what will grow in your area. There are various other things that might influence you whilst choosing your seed. It might be very individual. You might be interested in the weird and wonderful. Companies like this are quite good at that, but they all have a selection of unusual varieties. Then you might have high rainfall, low rainfall, or poor soil, or there are many different factors that could influence you on your seed choice. Another thing you might like to do is save your own seed. We save a few seeds. It's a bit of a tricky business in some cases, saving seeds. Other seeds are very easy to save. We grow lots of fennel, or it grows itself, should I say, and we can save the seed from that. We've grown some runner beans. If we wanted to save the seed from the runner bean, it's a case of letting them dry out and then opening them up and just harvesting them out of their pods. This is an underripe one, but just to show you what they're like inside, because they're rather attractive. Beans are easy to harvest. We've collected some seeds from an iris, and this is from a plant a bit like a globe artichoke. It's called cardoon, and it has this big fluffy flower like a thistle, and the seeds are in the base of the flower. You can just see one there. There's a problem with one of the problems with saving seed yourself is that if you've got more than one variety growing, the seed you save might not be pure to the plant that you think you're saving it from. It might have been crossed with one of the other ones. So it's easy when it's something like fennel, but it's more difficult when it's something like courgettes, when you've got marrows growing and squashes growing, because those can all blend to make something that's not as good as any of them. So it's a case of choosing what you're going to save your seed from, or taking it to another level, which we won't go into now. I'm just going to show you what we do with our young seeds. When at the beginning of the year, normally we're planting a lot of seeds. We need a decent propagating compost to plant them into. We use this coir-based propagating compost, which is balanced for seeds, and we have two ways of using it at this stage. We plant the seeds either into modules or into blocks. Now, block makers are commercial scale ones this size. There's quite a lot of rows of blocks in there. You can buy small garden sized ones that will just do one of these rows. We prepare the compost for using those by using a receptacle a bit like this one, for instance. We put the compost in, add quite a lot of water, and then we mix it up so it's like cement, and then very simply we use one of these to push down onto the compost, thoroughly fill all the holes that are in the block maker, and we just scrape the surplus off the bottom, because otherwise you have different thicknesses of block. Get it all nice and smooth against the metal, and then place it in one of these trays and push hard so that the shell of the block maker comes up and the tops hold the blocks down. And I think I can hold one. Ends up looking like that. It's got a little divot in the top where we drop the seed. The other system that we use for propagating seeds is into these plastic trays. It's a quicker way of planting, because filling the trays is ever so easily. I'll just show you what we do. You just cover the tray with compost, and then we push it about a bit, and then we'll get rid of the surplus, and as quick as that we've filled 140 odd modules. Okay, just to show you what we do with the planting of the seeds. I've got a box of seeds here for some lettuce seeds. They're actually in clay pellets. They're called pills for some reason. I suppose they look a bit like a pill, don't they? And now our aim is to get one in each of the blocks. We wouldn't normally put lettuce into this size block, but just for demonstration I'll show you what the process we use. That was 2. Normally try and get 1 in. They're nice, these, because they're quite handleable. The seed itself is a third of the size of one of these, and it's long and thin. It's not a very good demonstration, this, but they roll too well. But gives you an idea, and I'll fill all these up, I think. And then when using these modules, we use the same process. We get a seed at a time into each one of those hollows that we've made, and it's quite a fiddly little process, but there are mechanical ways, but they're very expensive. Okay, when we've seen how we propagate seeds in the propagating area with into soil blocks and into modules. We also plant direct. There's various reasons why we might plant direct. When we have a whole row of the same crop that's with very narrow spacing, it's very quick to put it straight in the ground. And some crops do well like that, and other ones don't do so well. What we're going to demonstrate quickly sowing, what we do when we sow carrots. We have various tools to help us. In your back garden you might do this by hand, but we have a couple of seed drills. This small variety here, which is quite cheap and a bit it's a bit small for our purposes, but and this big one. With these seed drills, they both have a hopper. They both work similar ways. Have seed discs with holes in them that suit the seed that you're trying to put in. So the carrot disc, we put in a disc similar to this, and it just slots in the hopper, and then we put the seeds, the seeds from the bag straight into the hopper, like so. And then we take a straightish line, to do our best to keep a straight line, because that makes the hoeing easier. And we set off down the greenhouse with a seed drill. And then when we get to the other end, we use the line that we've drawn with this little marker here for our return, like so. And then just to explain how it works, the seed disc picks the seed up, drops it down a little channel, and this creates a groove in the soil. The chain covers it up, and the back wheel stamps it down a bit. And so it's a very simple process and very quick to do. And in sort of 10 minutes we can do a whole row. We then just have to wait for the seed to come up, keep it well watered, and keep the weeds free in between the rows. Okay, we've seen how we plant seeds direct into the soil. We've seen how we put them into the prop house into modules. Once the seeds have grown in the modules, we need to transplant them. Now at this time of year we don't have many transplants, but we are planting garlic, and it follows the same process really. It's quite easy with garlic though, because you're just pushing a garlic clove into the soil. I've got these are garlic we grew last year. We kept the best ones back for planting for the next season. Rikke's pushing, making a small hole and putting the garlic in. With a transplant, you make the small hole and put the transplant in. So it's a very similar process. Okay, we've shown you how we do our setting of seeds. We do some in the modules in the prop house, and we do some direct with our equipment. We also do some broadcasting, which is we tend to do just for the green manures really. That's scattering seeds finely, as finely as you can across the soil surface. There are various ways of doing that, but we just use a cup and let them spill out gently. You've seen how we were transplanting the garlic. That once we planted it, we need to make sure the beds are very well watered, and then as the time goes on, the plants will grow, and like these leeks that you planted a couple of weeks ago, we'll start seeing them poking above the surface, and we'll then have to just keep them weed free, and we'll talk about that in another session.